You're listening to After the Review with Peter and Terrell. New episodes of our podcast are available every Tuesday afternoon on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. If you like our content, remember to comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the episode. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review with Peter and Terrell. I'm your host, Peter, and joining us this week is our man, Matt. Matt, welcome back.
What's up, guys? Just hanging out in quarantine like everyone else. You know, just getting a little Xbox in and binge watching way too many TV shows.
I know it's a tough time out here. Just nothing going on. Everyone's locked up, but hopefully everyone's staying away from people. We'll get this over with soon. Maybe sports will eventually come back to us. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
I was watching rock skipping on ESPN the other day. That's how desperate we are.
Yeah, I have a couple of buddies who are some degenerate gamblers. They're gambling on marbles. That's how serious it's getting. So.
Oh, I saw that. And then I also see people, BRs, doing Madden simulations with all the new free agency pickups, and people are betting on spreads on that.
Yeah, it's not surprising at all. People just they get the gambling tick and they
gotta
get
that fix it, man. Gotta get that fix
sure.
it. Degenerates, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's just run over free agency stuff that, you know, me and Terrell, that have happened since me and Terrell touched on it this week. The big one, I would say, Melvin Gordon to the Denver Broncos. I like that one. You know, leaving the Chargers in division, going to the Broncos. Broncos kind of got a scary team for next year.
Yeah, they really do. I think they're kind of really trying to set it up good for Drew Lock. I think they're all in with him. I think John Elway loved what he saw from him. But I think for Melvin Gordon, it's just kind of like,
I know
he wanted all that money last year,
and he didn't get it.
What did he get? Like $8 million?
Yeah, he got 1 year, $8 million, I think, to go to Denver, and I think the Chargers were offering him $10 million a year.
Yeah, and I was listening to Cowherd, and he was talking about how like people were like begging him, like the Chargers like begging him, like just take the deal, like it's the best deal you're gonna get, and then I guess he just got bad advice from his agent, and he'll never, ever make that back, unfortunately.
Yeah, but then again, he may also be winning next year with the Broncos. It doesn't look like the Chargers are going anywhere real fast, especially since Tommy didn't pick them. They got Tyrod Taylor at quarterback next year. Ooh, scary. Right,
yeah. I forgot he's going to be the starter, so yeah, you never know because I guess we'll see how good Anthony Lynn really is this year. With Tyrod Taylor.
I don't think he's good at all, so I think that answers everything. So, I mean, maybe they'll draft a quarterback. They'll draft Herbert maybe at 6.
Right.
And work him in pretty quickly.
Yeah, it kind of stinks for Tyrod Taylor, man. It feels like, or is it Tyrod?
Tyrod. Yes.
Tyrod is, it seems like he's almost like got that Drew Bledsoe kind of career going for him where anywhere he goes, he gets a spot taken somehow by injury or
something. And he's good enough. He wins games. I mean, he took the Bills to the playoffs 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago at this point now, so we'll see. Other big ones, little surprising, Todd Gurley got cut by the Rams. I guess those knees really are gone for Todd, and he signed with the Falcons, went home to Atlanta.
Yeah, man, it's just kind of it's got to devalue the running back position for sure because they threw all that money at him before they had to. And then he ended up having, it's like just arthritis in his knee, right?
Yeah, because he blew up his knee in college a couple times, I think. He tore his... Yeah. Or he tore it once in college and tore it once in the NFL, maybe.
Right, yeah, that's correct. I remember when he did it in college because I remember I was like, dude, he's incredible. Like, he's going to be insane when he gets to the NFL. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and it was brutal, too. It was like a super hyperextended. I remember that was very bad.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of similar to, you remember Marquise Lattimore? I know.
Yes, that snap.
The same kind of injuries, yeah, because Marquise Lattimore was an animal. Like, he was going to be... He was going
to be the number one back coming out of South Carolina.
For sure,
Never played it down.
Recovered.
Yeah.
But, I think Cowherd was saying that Gurley was kind of turning into a bad locker room guy, but I haven't heard anything out of.
I could see that he was probably getting getting pissy. He's not getting the ball or whatever,
right?
And it just, you could see it. He doesn't have it, and the Rams were kind of tiptoeing around it, like, no, he's fine. You saw it in that Super Bowl run. Everyone was like, why isn't Todd Gurley getting the ball? Why isn't Todd Gurley getting the ball in the playoffs and in the stretch? And it's, I don't know, man. It sucks because at least he got a little bit paid. And he's still going to get money, but I saw none of the 22 running backs drafted in 2015 are on their team still. So nobody made a second contract with their team essentially.
That's insane,
right? So running backs totally devalued.
Yeah, because I feel like you have coaches who think they can just get a guy who fits their offense in third through the seventh round, or
And
third,
yeah,
fourth, fifth round. Yeah,
younger,
just get a
fresher
guy. Yeah,
legs.
for nothing.
Yeah,
So
you're paying nothing, and guy can usually you can find a guy that can produce that doesn't
right.
have miles on the tires, and it's just,
Well,
I mean, Todd Gurley was MVP talk back-to-back seasons. I mean, he literally won people fantasy titles left and right
right.
for
Yeah.
2 consecutive seasons. He was unstoppable, and now he's just
Well,
like, what's he gonna do in Atlanta?
well, personally, like I drafted him his rookie year on fantasy just because I knew after watching him in college how good he was going to be, and then it sucks to see someone with that much talent. You hate seeing people with talent like that who are just game changers who unfortunately have injuries and can't produce like they used to and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
I think they need to go. I think we talked about this last week. They need to redo the whole pay structure. Like, quarterbacks need to be separate because of how much money we're throwing out
right.
to quarterbacks and opposing teams. And running backs need either shorter contracts, like 3-year contracts, and you can add a 4th-year option, and maybe they have a higher rookie salary spread, and it's all guaranteed.
Right.
Just because it's so. I know it hurts if you miss on a running back and stuff, but they really are the only position that's super marginalized, and it's like your career is short. I mean, Adrian Peterson,
Right.
Frank Gore, those guys are freaks. We're not going to see stuff like that, I don't think.
No, it's just they get hit way too much. They're involved. They get the ball too much, especially now. Like you get Christian McCaffrey, who I don't know how many touches he gets a game. It's got to be 30 or more almost. It feels like per game.
Yeah, I think that
can
may help.
severely limit. Yeah,
That may help though, because he's a guy in space, and if you get the running backs in space, you're not necessarily taking bigger hits
Right.
from 400-pound linemen that are sitting on you all the time.
Right, for sure. But yeah, I think just going back to your original thing, I think Melvin Gordon pairing with Philip Lindsay will be really good. So
Yep,
I think
it's a good
Philip
little
Lindsay's
1-2
kind of your
combo.
scat back, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Especially since I mean, I don't know, Melvin Gordon did kind of lose his job last year to Austin Eckler, same kind of back as Philip Lindsay, but maybe they
Right.
both. But they both can catch, a little pass catching. Sucks for Royce Freeman, who's kind of solid too. Going to be a 3rd-year back. He's basically done in Denver, I assume.
Yeah, maybe they can. Man, I don't even know if there's any trade
Trade.
value.
Yeah, you don't even know anymore at this point. Other moves I want to touch on, I liked Emmanuel Sanders to the Saints. Hey, another receiver in New Orleans. They really need it. I'm never going to root for the Saints, but
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I guess that's good for Drew Brees. Emmanuel Sanders runs good routes. He's been really solid.
But
He's had a few injuries.
He's kind of the same kind of receiver though as Michael Thomas, though, right? Guy short route over the middle guy. I mean, every once in a while Sanders will go deep. But it's like, oh, another Saints little short route receiver because Drew can't throw the ball past 12 yards these days. It feels like.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, I was really excited because I had saw some Cowboys reporters saying that Emmanuel Sanders was interested in the Cowboys.
I saw
which
that
would have
too.
been nice.
That would have been a very nice ad. But
yeah.
Typical dude.
Of course he goes to the Saints.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Cowboys with the really surprising retirement of Travis Frederick. I mean, all-pro center he's made the Pro Bowl 5 out of 6 years he's been in the league, and he missed 1 year. And kind of shocking, right?
Yeah, man, I was really excited this year because it kind of felt like everyone's kind of I don't really know for Tyron Smith, but it feels like everybody was getting really healthy.
This was the year, right? They were you franchised Dak for 1 year. You re-signed Amari. Zeke's happy. Like, this is it. We're going all in. We make a run.
All the offensive linemen are paid. All of them are happy too, and you just hope Tyron Smith is healthy and like Travis Frederick's back. He's kind of the cog for the middle of that offensive line. He's kind of the captain. And that shocked me yesterday when he retired. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to either draft a center or I don't even know who the backup is. I don't even think it's Joe Looney. I don't even know if he's here.
Yeah, the guy.
He signed somewhere else.
He's the one who filled in 2 years ago when Frederick came out. He has that. It's a neurological disease, right? Or is it autoimmune?
It's an autoimmune, something with his spine, I believe. So
I know it causes a lot of pain and exhaustion, right? It's weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm trying to look up exactly what it's called. Yeah, I'm pulling up what it is. I know they said it made him fatigued a lot and it made it difficult, Oh yeah, Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Plan he could have been.
There you go. So yeah, it's just difficult to be an NFL. I mean, you can't play in the NFL unless you're always going to be beat up. But to have taken away from your stamina and energy and stuff like that, making things more difficult. Just really think, but
he has the
Barr
Guillain-Barré
disease, yeah,
syndrome.
yeah, syndrome.
Yeah.
So,
So now unless that forces the body to attack its own nervous system. Yeah, pretty serious.
so yeah, sure. But it goes more to a unsettling trend, I guess, for the NFL. He was only 29 years old, arguably the best center in the league, and that's another list of guys that are under 30 that have retired in their prime, like something
Right.
crazy like that. Let me see. I have the list here of, let's see, NFL stars to retire at age 30 or younger in the last 5 years. So we have Andrew Luck, Rob
Yep.
Gronkowski, Luke Kuechly, Calvin Johnson, Patrick Willis, and Doug Baldwin, along with Travis Frederick. That's a
And
pretty big list of
yeah,
names.
you'd almost say everyone, maybe besides Doug Baldwin, on their way to a Hall of Fame career too. Just that kind of talent, you
Yes,
know.
definitely. I mean, Gronk's gonna get in. Luke Kuechly's probably gonna get in. Calvin's in, and then Andrew Luck
Yeah.
was. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, if he could have just been the thing that sucked, the Colts probably would have been in the AFC Championship battling with the Chiefs if he was playing because they had finally he had Chris Ballard finally
I think
draft all
definitely. Yeah,
those players.
The Titans don't even get in the playoffs if
No,
Andrew Luck's
no.
healthy or
Yeah, they
doesn't
could have
retire.
been a 12-13 win team with that offensive line, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, decent run game, Marlon
Theoretically.
Mack. So I don't
Right.
know. The NFL's got to be worried that they keep losing guys like this, though.
For sure. Like it doesn't look good to
Yeah,
lose
right.
guys
Like
who
you're
are
all about health and
yeah.
safety, and guys are like, "Yeah, this is not healthy or safe to play this game." Pat, you know,
When it's your biggest stars for sure.
and
And all those guys are, first round picks, I believe, besides
yeah,
Doug Baldwin. Doug
yeah,
Baldwin's undrafted, right?
they're all super high picks, all
Yeah.
endorsement type guys, all nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it
Right.
says a lot when Gronk retires and goes to the WWE. I mean, that's not
Right.
a non-rigorous schedule. It's not like
Right.
it just shows the wear and tear. Like I heard he had blood drained from his chest after the Super Bowl last year because
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
pooling up in his body, like, and he was playing through it. So
I've not heard that, but geez.
yeah, the stuff that the guys put themselves through is ridiculous. I mean, Andrew Luck was physically like crying because he couldn't go through another rehab stint with the Colts, getting hurt this year, and it just kind of dropped. So I don't know what you do from here. I mean, it already seems like it's soft or football. I
Right.
don't know. What do we do?
Man, that's a good question because it seems like these guys get the rookie contract and they get the second contract and then they're like, well, okay, well I've made all this money already, and in their head they're, well, I'm still somewhat healthy and I've made, I don't know, in Andrew Luck's case, $100 million already or something, and well, I might as well just pack it in now before I break a leg and I have something that's permanent. I'm just thinking from the player's perspective, but from the NFL's perspective, I don't know. I don't know because if it's not money driven, because they're making all the money already, I don't know if you can just offer more money, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
It's because they see in these older guys that are not necessarily super old, but I mean, we know the guys from the 70s or whatever, all beaten down barely. I mean, you look at Earl Campbell, man can barely walk these days, and he's not that
yeah,
old. So, but I
right,
mean, they're seeing guys from the 80s and 90s a little bit more modern, and they're real beat up too. And so they're kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be, Michael Strahan, get out of this while I can and
right.
be on
Tiki
TV
Barber,
endorsements.
yeah.
Yeah. Like Tony, I mean,
Well,
shoot, look at the Tony Romo. Tony Romo just made $17 million doing the announcement deal. It's like, why can't I do that? I can get
right.
out of this. I don't need to.
That's why I'm kind of shocked that Greg Olson decided he wanted to keep playing.
I think he wants
So
a ring. I think he wants a
yeah,
ring.
yeah, because that's just gonna be sitting there for him at the
Yeah,
podiums.
I mean, he was
He was
already
doing a
doing.
great job.
He was doing the
Yeah.
XFL games already on top of it for
Yeah, and it was
Fox.
great.
Yeah,
And then just speaking, players looking at older players, a guy I know personally, Walt Garrison, who played for the Cowboys in the 60s and 70s, he was a fullback.
oh God.
So you can only imagine the amount of hits he took. And unfortunately, it's just his mind's kind of getting away from him. And just those sustained hits to the head, cause permanent damage. And so I think some players are just thinking, well, I've made generational money for my families already, so what's the point in me further injuring myself? And in some cases, they like Doug Baldwin's won a Super Bowl, so he's already been at the pinnacle of the sport. So you know,
Yeah, and most of these guys have. I mean, they're all gonna have second careers doing something. I'm sure.
100%
Like you said,
coaching or
analytic.
announcing,
Yeah, I mean, it's
scouting.
ridiculous. You
Yeah.
see nothing but NFL. You look, turn on Fox or ESPN, watch. Back when we had sports, and you would see nothing but ex players doing commentary or like calling and talking. I'm like, that's a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, and they get paid, a couple million a year or so, or maybe a million, and then it's
Pretty
not even
lax.
close to those rigorous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
it's a pretty
sure.
lax
I don't blame them.
schedule. It's like I was
Right.
surprised. I know I saw Peyton Manning turn down the Monday night deal with ESPN because he didn't want to commit to a weekly schedule in the fall. It's like, Peyton, it's 17 weeks, dog. Like,
Right.
come on, they're gonna pay you $20 million a year. I mean, I guess when you're at the top, he's doing all those endorsements and stuff, and he's on everywhere. But still, it's
Yeah,
like, how
there's
hard
no
is
telling
it?
how much money he makes from
Yeah,
endorsements. It's got to be
I mean, he's on
10
everything. He's
million.
on commercials left
Yeah,
and right.
and he has his own show still, right? Or is he
Yeah,
done
that
doing that?
the Peyton Manning the Manning's show
Film
on
room.
yeah
Yeah.
on ESPN, but I guess maybe Peyton Manning's that kind of guy. If he commits to something, he's gonna go in 120% because that's how he played
Yeah.
football. So he'll be like,
Wha-
it's not just like a weekly roll up. He's in the film. He's watching film 4 hours a day on the game that he's calling next. Or
100%. Yeah, he's just a man of habit or creature of habit for sure. Kind of like him and Drew Brees. They're just kind of like bought in. Once they're bought in, they're in. Like you
yeah.
just said.
So I don't know where we go from here with this whole injury stuff. I mean, I guess we could look for. We got to look for the young draft and the young guys coming up. I mean, we're less than a month away from the draft too. On top of everything, kind of feels weird, right? Like,
Right, because there's no pro days. There's no
there's a lack of buzz. Is almost
100%.
and
And
it's.
so
I saw.
yeah,
Who did I see? Oh, I saw Tua working out yesterday finally, and he looked like he could move a little bit. He was slinging the rock, running around. It was very nice to see. But then my buddy was like, "Yo, I'm about to report his ass. They're supposed to be in quarantine. Why is he at a gym somewhere working out?"
yeah. Terrell said that yesterday. He said Tua was looking pretty good, and I saw it too. And man, he's got sweet feet, man. He's very smooth for sure.
I mean, that's why everyone likes him. But they're like, I know people doubt him a little bit because he's a little slow, and it's not maybe like you're running away from SEC defensive linemen and stuff. That's pretty much the pinnacle of linemen in college you're gonna face, and it's like he throws
Yeah,
he throws a dang good ball. It's not like he
yeah,
can't throw it.
yeah. He throws a beautiful deep ball for sure, and I'm glad to see I mean, he looks okay at least, so that's good to see.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be weird because no doctor checkups. Do you really? I mean, I guess Miami, and this maybe helps the Dolphins with no personal checkups or anything like that because they even
right,
canceled free agency personal screenings for physicals for guys to sign. So
right. I
it's
think Tom Brady's the only guy to technically sign, right, as of right now,
I know guys have signed, they just
or
haven't
cleared.
done a
Yeah,
physical,
yeah.
which
So
is
that interesting for
weird,
sure.
right? Yeah, I think Tom Brady got some buzz because he took a physical from a personal doctor in New York City, and they're all locked down, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Tom,
Like, what are you
can't do
doing?
yeah."
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was,
Maybe they just took their word for it, and plus Tom hasn't.
I mean, yeah,
When
Tom's
was
fine.
the last time he was injured? Yeah,
2007 when he tore his knee. Was that?
yeah. I was about to say
Oh,
like
or
he
he cut
doesn't.
his. No, he had a weird cut on his hand for the Super Bowl, I think, or the AFC Championship game.
Right,
He
I
like
remember
sliced his
that.
hand in practice. It's like, oh
That's what
no.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
wonder whose head rolled for that. I think someone hit him, right?
we should
Could you
look at
imagine?
their yeah.
Yeah, because I only like I remember playing at Division II college football, how mad the coaches would get if you even breathed on the quarterbacks. So just imagine how it is if you breathe on Tom Brady, who's, you know,
I don't
some
know,
would
man.
say the
Bill
best
Belichick
quarterback ever.
treats him like every other player. That's why Tom left because he didn't get any love. He's like, just Tom hit him in the
Yeah,
quarterback. Hey, don't hit the quarterback, but
yeah, the whole thing is odd to me. I don't know how. It's just been really interesting. I feel like the Patriots are really quick to blame Tom for that, for
they.
leaving. Like, oh, it was on him, you know.
So the stories came out a little bit this week. Like they said, they said Bill tried to shop Tom after the 28-3 comeback or the
Yeah,
25.
that's
Yeah,
not surprising.
where it's like what he just had the largest comeback in Super Bowl history, won the game, and he's trying to. They said he offered him to San Francisco that year, and
Wow.
Robert Kraft shut that shit down, and so Tom was never the same after that. They said, and then they lost the Super Bowl that year, and then that's when they traded Jimmy that year. They lost the Super Bowl
Right.
to Philly, but it was a whole, it was a whole
Like
thing.
whole thing
Yeah,
for sure.
but it's like,
And
uh,
I think Bill is it's almost like just, I think him and like Howie Roseman would be really good together from the Eagles. It's all about like value.
They're just so he's so crotchety. But I mean, again, the Patriots. You see the stuff they're doing. They signed Brian Hoyer again. I mean, they're going to start Brian Hoyer at quarterback, and they're going to learn they're going to show everyone how to tank correctly and draft Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. Do you think Stidham or Brian Hoyer are going to start?
I don't know. It depends whoever's worse is going to start because he's trying to lose, and he's going to show teams like, this is how you tank. We're going to have the first pick and not mess this up. I mean, they just cut Gostkowski, their kicker. They have no kicker now.
Yeah, for sure. And then you got to think, who do they have? I mean, Julian Edelman.
Oh, yeah, Edelman. If I'm Edelman, I demand a trade. He's already taken a pay cut to not play with Tom Brady now. It's like, why the hell do I want to stay here?
Did you see he liked a tweet? He said something like the Bucks should trade.
Yes, Dion.
Yes,
Dion.
Yeah.
I saw that. Dion tweeted that, and he liked Dion's tweets. Like,
and apparently I was like, oh my god, like it's such a big deal. Yeah.
Hey man, I would like a tweet. Hey, it's Dion. Dion's talking about me. Why not?
Yeah. Hey, and we could use any kind of headlines at this point, anyway.
I know we are struggling for sports at this point, and it's sad. It kind of sucks. I mean, the Olympics just got pushed back today to 2021, so
yeah.
I don't know when this stuff's gonna end. It doesn't sound like the NBA season's coming back this year. I mean, maybe just a playoff little run.
Yeah, I remember I was listening to Cowherd, and he was saying that the NBA is very progressive in their thinking, and that maybe they just cut out the first round. You have the top 4 seeds from each conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just have the second. So what would that be?
The second.
2 rounds.
Yeah.
2 rounds in the finals.
I'm not about that. I'm not about that because the Sixers are currently not in the top 4. So.
Yeah, don't listen to Cowherd talk about the Sixers. Then I don't know if you heard him go off about the Sixers.
No, I'm sure. I mean, I go off about the Sixers, but hey, if this break's gonna help anybody, it's gonna help the Sixers because they're all gonna get healthy and reset, recharge because we're just a tight knit group of guys that are destined to be great.
Yeah, and it just stinks because the Mavs are having a pretty good season.
Yes, Luka and them are.
Good.
I mean, they're not gonna. They're not going to make a run, but they might win they could win a team that's in the first round and win a playoff series, definitely.
I wouldn't mind seeing them. Who would be the 2 seed? The Clippers?
So the Clippers. Yeah, them and the Clippers.
It'd be
fun.
It'd be the Clippers or the Lakers if it was a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't even think they're that low. I think they're kind of in the middle there, so.
Yeah, and so that would stink, obviously, and that really stinks for LeBron because he seems like he's having one of his better seasons in year 17.
I know he wants that next ring, fourth ring with a third team. That's big time stuff. That's something Jordan could never even fathom.
Just some mercenary type stuff.
Yeah, some real hitman like I'm the best. I go anywhere I go, we win. Simple as that. And so that did suck. But if it does get played, this really benefits him because everyone was freaking about the minutes he was playing.
Right. And I just hope they play it because if he doesn't get it this year, it's gonna be so hard for him next year. He's another year older. I know how well he takes care of himself, but his roster's another year older. There's not any free agency next year that's blockbuster.
And it's like, think about the Warriors are back. Clay, everybody's back on the Warriors. Maybe they trade for Giannis in Golden State. Brooklyn's back. Kyrie and KD are back playing full strength. It's just everyone's kind of better. This was definitely there.
Right.
And same with the Clippers. I mean, it feels like the Clippers they traded most of their roster for Kawhi and Paul, and they have a bunch of old guys running around out there off their bench. And it's like we were making a run for this year or next year, and so crunch time for them. It does suck. I mean, shoot, how about hockey? Speaking of hockey, the Dallas Stars were having a great year too, and it's like all these teams were having
good momentum, right?
Yeah, and it just everything shuts down. I mean, soccer everywhere too.
Right.
The Champions League, they said they're postponing the final, but they hope to play
till next year.
No, till like June. I think they said the Champions League final.
Right.
And
there's just too much money in the Champions League for them to,
for real.
Kind of like football. It's like American football for us. Like it's just too much money and too much sponsorship money. And they're going to try their best to make it happen.
And what was I saw? Oh, was it John Oliver, who's a big Liverpool fan in the English Premier League, and he was like, Becky's like, we were 2 games away from clinching the title. They only need 6 points to clinch the title. And it's like, I've been waiting 30 years for this. And it's like, oh, you think about all the fans that really do have that input and all these teams having great, historical seasons for themselves. And it's like, it's thrown away
just
for safety, I understand.
Yeah.
I get the safety issue because
100%.
Things are going out. But it's tough.
And you know me, I work into sports and events, and so
shut everything.
Yeah, and we don't know when they'll allow us to. It kind of just, I feel like it starts with the NBA. They're the first ones to cancel, and I feel like it'll take them coming back first for everyone to start back up, or when it's deemed safe enough to congregate like that again. And who knows when that's gonna be okay.
It seems like at least another 2 weeks, and then we reevaluate, and then probably another month or I don't know. Same. We canceled all the sports season for the kiddos, and it was like, oh man, it's just a lost season. But we're in weird, untrying times, so.
Yeah,
I get it.
Because no one knows.
It's a big question mark. Everyone's talking. We're seeing conjecture left and right, and it's like, sports eventually.
Yeah, for sure. And but yeah, man, you got cities right now who are doing their shelter in place things for 2 weeks at a time, and so that's a big deal too, especially Denton County where I live. They just did it.
We just did it today too in Austin,
and all the surrounding counties.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing that's funny, my dad, he's a real estate appraiser, so he was out in like the boonies, and they're acting like it's nothing was wrong. This restaurant's open, and and so. Yeah, it's kind of crazy out there right now for sure.
Well, how about Terrell? Is Terrell still in doubt, like in Denton?
Yeah, he is. He's in Lantana.
Is he even going to be allowed to fly back to Seattle?
We were talking about that last night. He goes, "Yeah, like as of right now." Well, man, I don't even personally if I'd want to go back. Right now.
For real. You want to go back to
war zone there?
Yeah, I just imagine you like fly in and you land and it looks like something out of Fallout, like post-apocalyptic wasteland, Mad Max, guys roaming bands of, scavengers.
Shirtless, painted guys,
Yeah, guy playing flaming guitar out there just.
Just doing crazy things. He's just like, all right, I'm getting back. We can go take off.
Yeah, it's totally weird. And then I do like watching. It's interesting because ESPN, they basically have no content, so they're doing a lot of the classic stuff. And it's funny to watch people live tweet old games they were part of. Like I saw Bill Self was live tweeting the 2008 national championship game between Kansas and Memphis. And he's like, I have a good feeling about this one.
That's funny. I have not seen that.
But... Yeah. He was coming back. And then somebody was like, oh, it was so great to have my 9-year-old son, Kentucky fan, watch the Duke-Kentucky Christian Laettner game, double overtime thriller, and watch him be totally destroyed by that shot. He's like, it's good for a new generation to feel the pain we felt.
100%, yeah. That's
so like it's good. Yeah, some of these kids need a little history lesson, a little bit of culture out there.
100%, yeah. And so, but man, I just hope it kind of. Hope everyone stays safe, and I hope it kind of subsides here pretty quick because,
we got nothing
for personal bias.
Yes, we got nothing. We're gonna have to start digging into the weeds on some of the stuff that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Because hey man, we gonna have to get on that. What is that? Get on that virtual gambling. We'll have to watch those marble races at Madden League analysis over here.
We got it. Yeah, whatever you got to do to get our picks in.
Get our picks in and stuff. So I think that's going to do it for us this week. If you guys like our stuff, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week.